do you want to try surfing? This is what my sister asked me last summer on our family trip to the Outer Banks. A simple question with a yes or no answer, but a task that is not so easily feasible. So I said yes, and I accepted the challenge to try surfing. My sister had learned to surf in Australia when she studied abroad in college, so she knew what to do. All I had for experience was snowboarding, but that barely helped me. The first thing my sister told me to do was stand on the surfboard. My thoughts were, stand? That's easy, you just stand up. But it's not so simple. My sister showed me that you had to push up with your arms and slide your feet into position all in one motion, and then remain standing on the board. As I lay on the board for the first time to attempt standing, I can imagine catching a wave and the thrill it would give me. Although, I had to stand on the board first. So I pushed my body up with my arms and tried to slide my legs up, but there's a balance factor that I forgot, so I went into the water. Over and over again I tried standing. Luckily the surf was calm for the most part, so I didn't have to avoid waves, and I was improving, but still falling. Finally, it was late afternoon and I went back into the water to try standing again. My arms were feeling heavy, and I was getting tired. But my motivation pushed me. I wanted to surf, and I needed to accomplish standing to do so. I got back out and fell a couple times from losing balance or not standing fast enough, but then I got it. I pushed myself hard enough to get my body standing and balanced on that board, and it was invigorating. I was the tallest person in the ocean, standing on the board that I failed so many times on. It felt like time had slowed down because I accomplished my first goal of surfing. The next was to catch a wave. It was getting late, so we decided to call it quits for the day. Tomorrow is the day I try to catch a wave. Bright and early the next day, I arose with excitement. Today, I will catch a wave. My sister, dad, and I headed to the beach around 8 in the morning to get open waters for surfing. The sun was shining bright, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I could just feel that today was the day. Once we got to the beach, I headed into the water with my sister, while my dad waited to take pictures. Yesterday took a toll on my body. My arms were sore from pushing myself up so much, and my knees had scrapes from not being able to get them up. But I was determined to surf. We got to the sandbar, which was about 20 or 30 yards from the shore, and I practiced standing before I would try catching a wave. My sister had her turn to try catching waves, but it wasn't as easy as Lilo and Stitch made it seem. My adrenaline was pumping as it became time for me to try to catch a wave. Here I go. I've got my board facing the shore, and I'm ready to start paddling when a wave comes. The warm, clear ocean surrounding me as I see my first wave approaching. I start to paddle. My head is clear from all thoughts except for catching that wave. Then I go to stand up and splash. I fell backward into the water, but I was close to riding a wave, so I got ready for the next one. The next wave is approaching, and I'm paddling as fast as I can. Once the wave gets close to me and starts pushing me, I stand up. I was standing on the board, but this time I was surfing. I felt like I was riding on air. The water was so smooth, and I felt so free from all of my failures. My feet weren't strapped in like snowboarding, and there was no snow patches to mess up my ride. Just smooth ocean. I was so joyous to finally be surfing as I heard my sister cheering from the background, and I saw my dad taking pictures of me on my first wave. Now, the fun begins.
Catch a wave and you're sitting on top of the world.